of the advisor or practice help implement a marketing plan. So, what is marketing, or what is a marketing plan? I'm just going to talk really high level here, and we'll get into the details later. When it comes to marketing for a financial planning practice, you are helping the advisor build his client base, or work with existing clients and maintaining those relationships. Why is a marketing plan important? So this is to continue not only adding new clients, but gaining new business, potentially from existing clients if they trust you more with client appreciation, because of client appreciation events, then they will invest all of their financial energy with you in the practice, which in turn leads to more profits. We have 4 resources at Key Management Group that we recommend as best practice resources. They are the annual marketing plan process, the marketing plan questionnaire, an actual marketing plan template, and then a seminar and event checklist that comes from Ameriprise. I did put the links here into the presentation if you'd like to take them down, but they are all under Turnkey Solutions and the Marketing and Client Acquisition folder. I'll start with the first one, and that's the annual marketing plan process. And this process, we believe, should start in October. So if you are assigned as one of or the only staff member to aid in a marketing plan, I would recommend bringing this to your advisor's attention in the beginning of October. The process that we recommend is a reflect, plan, learn, and accountability and follow-through process. The reason that we recommend starting in October is because we'll want you to go through these steps in preparation for the following year. So you'll really want to have a marketing plan in place by December 1st. Reflecting last year's plan, so it would be that current year that you're in. Planning, which does take some time. Actually, it's probably the biggest chunk of time that you would take, and that's going through the marketing planning questionnaire, and I'll show you some slides of what that looks like. And then the Ameriprise Business Planner and Advisor Business Planning, you'll have to get that from Ameriprise, so there's time needed to gather that information and to fill it out. Most of the time, the staff is going to hold the advisor accountable, which is why you'll need to plan and schedule time to meet with that advisor or advisors in their already busy calendar. Usually the planning stage is around business planning for the following year, and the advisor will be ready with numbers and financial goals, client number of new clients that they'd like to receive or get in the following year. So those types of things we'll need to know. Learn, so marketing materials review and training. You'll want to continue reviewing the 8 marketing activities on Compass. There are things that do change, so you'll not want to read those once and never look at them again. We recommend in our business plan that you review the 8 marketing activities often. And lastly, for the accountability and follow-through, all items assigned out by December, tracked, and then follow through would be in that the future year. The marketing plan questionnaire has a few sections. It does ask for background, goals, and basic plan. Your marketing team and meetings, so what your practice should have. The 8 key marketing activities, and we have questions based around all of those activities. The advisor or the practice's desire to follow through on all 8 activities, or maybe the advisor chooses just 1 or 2 of them, but you'll need to know. So the questionnaire is to help get you the answers that you need. It helps set a budget, commitment, and next steps. All of the answers to the questions in the questionnaire you will need to hold the marketing team accountable. Once the questionnaire is filled out, then you can fill in the marketing plan. And again, I'll show you a couple of screenshots of that in just a few minutes here. And the marketing plan will allow you to assign team members, and it has a frequency of each of the steps that you should take with the 8 marketing activities, as well as the events that you've planned. And the goals with the marketing plan are for new client acquisition and the responsibilities for the marketing team. Lastly, I mentioned that we do have an Ameriprise resource, but we wanted to make it easy for you to find, so we did put it on Turnkey Solutions. It is the seminar event checklist, where you can keep track of each event scheduled individually and the steps that you should take on each. So for those of you that are not familiar with Ameriprise's 8 key marketing activities, I did want to bring those to your attention. Number 1 is the advisor website. 2 is social media, LinkedIn and Facebook, and they have something called Go Social. The online client experience is 3. Client and prospect contact is number 4. Referrals, networking, and prospecting is 5. Seminars and events is 6. Local advertising and media relations is 7. And practice branding is 8. So here's a sample of the questionnaire. Much of the document looks like this. I don't know offhand how many pages, but it is a lengthier questionnaire, and typically the questionnaire is done once and just revised year after year. You don't typically, practices don't change much with what they plan on doing as part of their marketing for the year. So you would go through these questions with the advisor. Some advisors prefer that you hold a meeting and you go through this with them, or some are more independent and they'll fill the questionnaire out and then give it to you. The marketing plan has many pieces to it. This is just one of the screenshots. We have a section, we have designed a section for each marketing activity. This is part of the planning stage here, and we'll show you, or I'm showing you that you can take this plan and fill it in, and then it can be saved to your Connect site. So here we're looking at their new client acquisition goals, and then the marketing team. The seminar and event checklist, as I mentioned, it was created by Ameriprise, but with the way that they've designed it, if you enter the date of the actual event into this checklist, it'll pre-populate the estimated due date for you, so you know just when to get each of these activities completed. If you're planning a lot of events in one year, it's good practice to have one of these for each of those events, and in a place, whether it's electronic or printed for you to see on a regular basis, to hold yourself and your marketing team accountable to the estimated due dates. You'll notice if you have events that are within a short period of time of one another, you're going to need to do some of these activities at the same time, because there are things that are done, up to 2 months in advance. Today, the practice management team nominated Dee Schumann from the Donahue practice as the content expert. And Dee is on the line with us. Her practice consists of 3 advisors and 3 staff members. They have an administrative assistant, a business processor, and Dee, I'll call you a marketing specialist, but I know that you do more than that right now.
Right.
So you'll be able to share if it's applicable to anything that may relate here through the marketing process that you know about with the practice. I'm going to share Dee's process first, and then we'll open it up, Dee, to for the rest of the class to ask you any questions that they may have.
Okay.
So with the advisor website, so this is activity number 1. The Donahue practice does update it quarterly. They include pictures and upcoming events on the page, and the client signs form for their picture release. And Dee, do you put like pictures from events of your clients? Is that what you mean by the picture release?
Yes. Because we just did a National Day of Service on June 19th, and so I had everybody who I took a picture of sign a release. That's a Ameriprise practice, and so then that way I can put that on the website.
Great. Social media, so activity number 2, they are using Facebook and LinkedIn. Dee updates both Monday morning and Thursday. And then she chooses, go ahead.
Sorry, Dawn.
Go ahead.
What I do normally for that is I do it Mondays, and I schedule one for Thursday. I do that every Monday. So I do one right away for Monday, and then I schedule one at the suggested times for Thursday.
Great. And you choose updates from the Go Social email?
Yes.
Trying to stay away from fill in the blanks and doesn't like to fill in sentences for the advisor.
All right.
I like that. For activity number 3, they are incorporating Total View. So they took Ameriprise Total View webinar, put Total View on all the investment review and rebalance meeting agendas, show Total View video during the meeting, and they send out Total View video link with meeting confirmations to the clients that are not already signed up. They're also incorporating iPads, which many practices are now beginning to do. Client completes the 3-minute confident retirement questionnaire before the meeting. And Dee, do they typically just, do they sit in your reception area to do that?
Correct. The way our offices are, I'm in the Fredericksburg office, Fredericksburg, Texas office, and so we just have one advisor here normally, so we don't have a whole lot of clients waiting, and then Jay Hutcherson does it for the San Antonio office, and we've actually got a lot of planning clients from doing this 3-minute retirement on the iPad.
Awesome. And that was Ameriprise's goal when they created that.
Yeah.
So it is working. And then activity number 5, the referrals, networking, and prospecting. Most new clients are from referrals, which is great to hear. And then their thank you blue bags. Dee and I have talked about this multiple times. Dee puts together a blue bag, a small blue bag, gift bag of candy and chocolates, business card, and personal thank you notes. And the personal thank you notes, Dee, do the advisors fill those out, or is that something that you help with?
That's something that I normally do because I'm the one talking to the prospects a lot. So I thank them for coming just to the seminar, and then the advisor follows up.
Great. And then for activity number 6, this is the biggest one with most practices that incorporate marketing, and that's the seminar and events. And I'll talk a little bit about what Dee and I have done together to plan for their year and how that's going. But a questionnaire to determine the client's event interests is really important. Planning events around things that the clients are not interested in may make them less successful. For this specific practice, their client events include volunteering or National Day of Service, client dinners and wine tours, and then seminars, quarterly, Social Security, estate planning, and a leg mason retirement seminar. And this is something that Dee planned in advance for the year. These are not events that were planned a couple of weeks before the date, and they were spread out throughout the year so that as the planner or the person holding the advisors accountable and getting the invites sent out and attendance at the events and the seminars, Dee was able to take a simple spreadsheet and look at how it would look for her and the rest of the practice for that year. Now, I'll speak for Dee on this one. It's not perfect, and holding that many events and seminars doesn't always happen right when you plan to, but the idea is that it is just a plan, and that you can do the best you can to plan for that year, and things come up, but at least it's not happening last minute throughout the entire year. Local advertising and media relations, as well as practice branding, they are working on, I know. Most recently, they changed the practice name, and so that would be part of the practice branding. And those last two activities for many practices are one of the last two, if ever, that are actually followed through on. So I'm going to speak to some of the pros and cons of our experts' results. So this is directly from Dee and Matt Donahue practice. The pros, the KMG resources can be customized, and that is a fact. Not every practice uses all 8 activities, as I just mentioned, so we like to keep it customizable for you. And the cons, the master list and the master event tracking list. And Dee, why don't you go ahead and speak to that one as to how time, I'm assuming the time commitment there would be one of the biggest cons in those lists.
That's correct. The other thing is, though, is with our seminars and stuff, we have different groups that we like to target. And so the master list, sometimes it ends up getting repeated, and so then I have to clean it up. So that's where the time comes in. If we just did one group every time, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But the way Craig has set up our practice, we have different subtypes, and so we do different things for different for subtypes for like retirement, age, or just we did a women's estate planning. So then I just invited women, and so it makes it kind of hard to use that list.
Great. So if any of you have similar situations where you're using different lists for invitees, you may find that it's just as time-consuming to use a master list. I will speak to the master list and invitation tracking list because it is helpful for some practices to reflect on the previous year's marketing plan, by having those lists available. For instance, you plan a baseball event and you are more successful at gaining referrals than maybe a seminar. Advisors like to see those numbers, and you would be able to put that together for them. However, as Dee mentioned, if you're planning many different events or seminars, it can be time-consuming on top of all the other 8 marketing activity or 7 other marketing activities that you're trying to accomplish. So now I'm going to go ahead and open it up for group discussion. I'm going to go through a couple of questions here, and we have them set up as poll questions so that we can get answers and then discuss. And the first one is, what is your practice's primary source of new clients? You can go ahead and choose that. "100% referrals from clients." So I'll speak to that because you are a staff member helping with marketing. So you're not in front of the client as often as the advisor is, but when you help plan the client appreciation events, you are helping show those clients how much the advisor appreciates them as clients, and they gain more referrals from that. Next one, how many client events does your practice host per year? Looks like 1/3 of each, 1 to 2, 3 to 5, and greater than 6. I'm going to jump to the next one here. And then how many seminars does your practice host per year? And about the same. Less seminars, more events. But what you'll find here with these results is that it's not a simple pick a date in the calendar, send out invites, and hold an event. There is a lot more that goes into planning events and seminars, with compliance requirements through home office and getting things approved, with the finances, the invites, prepping for all of those invites or attendees, and then the follow-through with the referrals. And that's what we're hoping for with some of the goal would be for referrals from these events. And the staff, you are really the backbone to make that possible. And then last question here for the group, what types of advertising does your practice do? And here's where I said while you're answering that, but this is one of those activities, marketing activities, that you don't see a lot of. So we're just curious from this group if there is any advertising being done. Looks like the quick polls math is not that great. Oh, okay. Newspaper, magazine, television ads, and other. All right, a couple of group discussion questions. These will not be poll questions, so I'm opening the lines up here for you to freely speak. Does anyone have different marketing strategies that are going well that we did not talk about today?
I have one also that I guess I forgot to mention to you, Dawn. We also joined our chamber, our local chamber for here and for our Kerrville office.
Mm-hmm.
And we do like the Fun After Fives, and we'll do a table there or something else. And that has gotten us 1 or 2 referrals also.
And how often do you do that?
I mainly go to the Fun After Fives, and they have it in Fredericksburg. They have it quarterly. So I go to all of those, and then we have a booth once a year. We have it in November, and we've done that for several years now.
Okay. And then Murphy, I'm going to pick on you. I know that you're new to the practice. I believe, based on the responsibilities, marketing may be something that you will be helping with into 2016. Is that true? Are you there, Murphy? I think you're there, but your line is a little, it sounds like you're really far away. That's okay. I was gonna try to put you on the spot. Any other marketing strategies? Megan, do you know of any that the Lane practice uses?
Not any that weren't already mentioned. We just started picking marketing back up, pretty regularly. Last year we did the client appreciation event at one of the local country clubs, but earlier when you mentioned the 3-minute confident retirement in the lobby, we started doing that as well.
Awesome.
But other than that, I couldn't think of anything different that wasn't already mentioned.
Okay. And of all the events and seminars that you have helped, and this is for everyone, that you have helped plan or been witness to, what have you found to be the most successful?
Mine have been the seminars. Those have been most successful for me.
What topics? I know we got to hear a few of the topics that you planned for this year, but any specific topics that clients like to come and listen to?
The Legg Mason one with retirement, for us being in a retirement community, that was huge for us. And we got a lot of feedback about how well that presentation was and how much information that they actually learned from that. And then the other one that was a big hit was the women estate planning one, because a lot of them are widows that came, and so then they brought their friends that were not, and so it helped them understand what they needed to get done.
Great.
We just had a beer tasting that was very successful. There was an identity theft presentation that went along with it, and people seemed to really enjoy that sort of setting, so I would say that was pretty successful for us.
Do you know if they were able to get any referrals out of it?
I think we had a couple. I haven't really followed up much. We just had the event, so
well, look at that.
You know,
all right.
We'll have to go back and look through that. So.
All right, and then lastly, does anyone have any questions for Dee on the process that she uses or doesn't use? Just want to make sure to leave you enough time to ask those. easy enough. Then I'll go ahead and end this portion of the class. I do have one other slide that I like to run by you.